Episode number 12 coming your way.
Oh, yeah. Episode number 12. Really good topic today. I loved what we talked about when me and Chris were talking about it. I was excited because it's something different. It's something a little bit more fresh. And I feel like it gives a good perspective on what we think about going into our busy season. So,
yeah, we're going to talk about some ways to prepare and improve your mindset, both mentally and physically. And hopefully give you guys some tips on what we're doing to get ready for the busy season coming up. Because once we hit April, May, it's on for the rest of the year with weddings.
Yeah, and I feel like we give a lot of good tidbits on just great things to be mindful of and things to practice as well. And also in our grab bag, we got some really good topics as well as tease a new venue that's coming to Albuquerque.
There's a new venue, a new wedding venue here in Albuquerque that I don't think I was expecting. And I mean, maybe some of you knew about this, but I definitely did not know about it. Yep. We're going to talk about it, and I think you all are going to be very surprised, and I'm really looking forward to working in this venue.
I'm excited to work in this venue, I will say. I'm pumped.
All right, and then we're going to finish up the episode talking about our favorite hip-hop tracks that are dance floor fillers at our weddings. So, I think you guys are going to like those songs, too.
A lot of good classic hip-hop tracks. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right into it.
Let's go.
What do you like better, Christmas or wedding season?
Mr. Gray.
Yes. The answer would be wedding season?
Bingo.
Well, you've just inspired me to hire a DJ, so thank you.
Oh, well, good luck finding a DJ who can move and shake like this.
You are now listening to Cutmaster Cast.
Yo, 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 yo.
Yo, what is up, y'all?
Welcome back to the Cutmaster Cast, the wedding industry podcast. My name is Chris Romero.
And my name is Tony Pacheco.
And we are DJs with Cutmaster Music out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Thanks again for listening, you all, and welcome to any first-time listeners. Appreciate you coming in. I think our listener count is up to about like 21 right now.
Up there. Yeah. I just saw our last video, too, on YouTube, hit about 20 views. So.
Hey, let's go.
We're trying. We're putting them out there, trying to let people know about the YouTube and the pod, just trying to make the podcast really accessible to everyone.
That's right. So if this is your first time joining us, we like to hit 3 areas on our show, including our weekly events, the wedding industry topics, and music. And this is all based around the wedding industry, so which we absolutely love and love to talk about, and that's why we are here. So let's get things started. Let's get into our weekly events. What'd you have this weekend? I
had nothing.
And I had nothing. So that was a great segment.
Yeah, right? No, it was, I will say, my last full weekend to myself with my family, my friends. So I made the most of it. We did something every single day. We went and played Frisbee golf on Friday. We went and saw shows. We went and saw some local bands on Saturday night, and then just had a real chill day on Sunday.
Who'd you see local? Let's give them a shout out.
The Mango Cakes and Slums of Harvard. Slums of Harvard used to actually one of the bassists, right?
Yeah, Zach. Zach used to be a DJ with us here at Cutmaster.
And
he went on to become a famous bassist.
Yep, and now he's kicking ass at the local bands and slums. They're super, super fun. They do a really good job at just like incorporating their own stuff. They asked me to remix a song of theirs, so I'm going to be doing that soon, so that'll be cool.
Oh, man. That's a cool project.
Yeah, so
nice.
They were great. And then Mango Cakes, they're a local band on the rise, too. They just, Sindra has a coworker who's like on the bongos.
She plays some mangoes?
No, he plays the bongos, but they're a full band. They've got brass, piano, bass, guitar, 2 lead singers. They just switched the lead singer from 1 to 2, and they're always so much fun. And we saw them at the Launchpad.
Oh, that's cool. So they're local.
Local. Yeah, so they're always doing stuff at like Marble Downtown, Launchpad, Inside Out. That's where Slums of Harvard was at. But it was just nice to be able to take in one final weekend before the craziness, because
before it all begins.
It's weddings. I do Sunday Fun Days, so that starts the second week in April.
Okay.
Or the second Sunday.
Out at Revel.
April 16th. Sunday Fun Day, y'all. Come check it out.
Check it out.
And then, just a couple other local things, and then just weddings. School dance, I got a prom, too.
Ooh, nice.
But we were talking about it. Kids are mean, man.
Yeah.
They'll let you know if you play this wrong song.
I'm out of the school dance game. I think I've I may have done
Had
my
your
last
fill.
school dance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless my little one Evan, maybe elementary school.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna go back to Baby Shark and ring around the rosies. Where
Classic.
it's nothing but love from the little kids,
Yep.
and it's nothing but mean from the older ones.
Yep, that's how it goes.
Yeah, no, my weekend was filled with a lot of basketball. I'm a youth basketball coach for my middle kiddo Jude, and
Nice.
our squad's called the Hoosiers for all you old school heads out there.
Nice.
And lots of fun. And actually, I'm recovering. Like I think I actually did something to my vocal cords.
Uh-oh.
I'm still so if my voice starts to crack a little bit during this,
You guys know why.
that's
He's a
why.
passionate coach.
Oh my
y'all.
gosh.
He's very passionate.
You know what? So the thing is I'm not like typically a yeller and
Yeah,
a
yeah.
screamer, but we were playing in a gym that was like an echo chamber.
Oh yeah, you were
and
saying it was
oh
really
my-
weird.
Just I mean, it's just consistently loud the entire time with
Sucks.
parents yelling and screaming, and they're all trying to yell over each other. And it's different than being in like one of the larger high school gyms where it kind of just gets diffused
Yeah.
a little bit, and you don't have to I can talk to my guys on the court, but in this situation, yeah, it was just mayhem for 3 days straight.
Nice.
So I'm in recovery mode.
Yeah.
So yeah. But all right, well, yeah, last weekend before we start getting
Yeah.
into weddings. So from here on out, we should have a pretty much almost a weekly event to
will. We will
discuss
have
with you
one. I
all.
know I do. And what I like about what we did this past weekend, I feel like it does a really good way kind of segue into our topic for today, because I feel like for me, my weekend was a lot on my mental health, just making sure I had a lot for just trying to just mentally recharge my batteries and all these different things. But we'll talk more about that. And
Yeah, I love it. That is a perfect segue into our topic this week, which are ways to prepare and improve your mindset as we all head into the busy season here. All of us vendors, we're ramping up. I think April and definitely May kicks off the wedding season here in New Mexico, and we go hard until really almost the end of the year.
yeah,
So we wanted to chat a little bit about that and just ways and to help you all and things that we do to get us ready for mayhem.
for the craziness, right? to make sure we're on point, honestly, for our couples, because like we always talk about, no room for error. It's the Super Bowl, all that stuff. So we have to be at our best, mentally, physically, all that stuff. So yeah, this is a good topic for today. I was excited when I heard about the topic. So
Yep, it's perfect. So, yeah, as we head into the busy season, it's essential to prepare ourselves mentally for the challenges that lie ahead. Planning and executing weddings can be very stressful, and it's easy to get overwhelmed if we're not careful. So, we're going to talk about some practical ways to improve your mindset and set yourself up for success. And we're just going to kind of go back and forth a little bit here. And my first one that I have that I think it's crucial to take care of your physical health. So things like exercising regularly, eating well, getting enough sleep. When you physically feel strong and healthy, I think you're better equipped to handle stress and manage your workload. And this has been something that's been a challenge for me lately. For those of you that follow me online, know that I've been dealing with some health issues. Just not to get too deep into it, but basically it's like long COVID stuff where I haven't had COVID since last summer, but I'm still dealing with some of the after effects of that. And so it's been a real challenge for me during this time. I've been doing a lot to get myself ready for wedding season. Really, all of this that I've been trying to do, like taking some supplements, making sure I'm getting plenty of sleep. It's been really hard for me to work out. That's one of the unfortunate after effects of this, is that when I work out, I tend to get really bad head fog and fatigue for like 3 to 4 days afterward.
yeah, that's crazy.
And even still, I've been feeling good. Like these last, I've had about a good 3 to 4 week stretch here. And so I tried to run and practice with my guys the other day.
How'd that go?
You know what? I'm fine during a workout,
Yeah.
like no issues whatsoever. And then I dealt with it was about a day of not super heavy fatigue, but I could feel it. I was just like,
Just felt
dang,
a little
man.
different the next day.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like run down. It's just not normal for me because I'm one that before all of this was going on, I was working out 5-6 days a week, like and in the gym, lifting weights and doing cardio.
Yeah.
And so it's been a real adjustment for me, not being able to really do that. And so I've been trying to, just, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit as well, just kind of keeping a positive mindset and
Yeah.
trying to do the things that I can do. So luckily I don't have a problem golfing.
There you go.
I know some might say this is Chris's excuse. My wife would probably say this.
Right.
You just want to get out and golf, which is true. But, when I go out and I walk. So
Okay.
I'll go walk 9 holes or I'll walk 18 holes. And,
Yeah.
you walk an 18-hole round and that's
Solid.
4.5 miles.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I'm just doing whatever I can to, to stay fit, stay physically healthy. And hopefully it benefits me going into wedding season because it can be, it can be tough when you're doing 2-3 events a week, just physically.
Yeah, I agree. There's sometimes as it's funny because now I am 29. I've been doing this for 8 years, and yes, you do get older and you do start to feel certain things or be more mindful of how long you can go for a certain amount of days, right? Yes, I can do 3 events back to back to back, but holy crap, am I almost dead on Monday. I've had events like that and I'm sick. I'm physically sick from working so hard, and 4 years ago that wouldn't have happened, right? So now I'm just trying to be more mindful of how many events I'm doing, where the events are taking place, and just trying to make sure that I have that capacity to deliver that kind of excellent service for every single couple or every event, right? Not taking 4 to 5 every single weekend, but making sure I'm dialed in for these 2 or whatever.
Right. Well, and our job is as DJs too is physical. I wouldn't say the equipment that we're dealing with is super heavy, but
You definitely hurt yourself setting up.
yeah,
if you don't do it right.
we're using speakers that are, 15, 20 pounds at times. Even the DJ booth, that thing is a haul to push in,
Exactly.
and if you're going super long distances, like at Sandia Resort or something like that,
Yep.
on carpet,
Yeah, it can take a
you've
toll.
got you got to be physically ready to handle that stuff. So it's funny because we always it takes a few events, and we talk about it usually with the assistants. We're not in event shape,
Yeah, exactly.
So it's funny. We should make a TikTok with how DJs at the gym. I don't know if you've seen. There was one I saw recently, and it was how golfers get ready. And
Oh, yeah?
And so he had a weight in his hand, for the scope.
That's hilarious.
And then,
Yes.
And then we need to do one. We need to.
That
do
would
that
be
for
really
DJs.
funny for gyms because I've seen one where they do it for thieves.
Yeah.
They have these guys with ski masks and they have a purse and they're practicing with the weights, but they have
Exactly.
so it's them practicing for something ridiculous.
We need to do. Oh
I'd
my
be down.
gosh, we need to do
Be
that.
funny.
We're setting up speakers or fist pumps.
Yeah, right.
You got to do
Fist pumps
fist
with
pumps.
dumbbells.
Yeah.
That would be funny. Yeah, I'm honestly down. We'll figure it
Be
out.
ready. That TikTok
eye
is
out for
that TikTok is coming.
I'm down.
Oh my gosh. Okay, go ahead. Give us your first one. Tony.
My first one is I feel like it's almost a no-brainer, but I feel like it's very important. It's one of the biggest things for me, and it's get organized. So from the DJ perspective, organizing my music, organizing my couples, and making sure I have everything ready for the month per se, but also having all of the information that I need and also having all of the information that I still need to get, right? So I'm a big fan of having digital notes and doing different ways of keeping them involved. We have our app with Vibo that's really sweet, but what I like in my notes aspect is I'm able to figure out, okay, I have these songs. I've got the first dance, I've got the parent dances, but I also have also still need the La Marcha information or who's going to be giving the toasters. So I can have all of that organized for my next meeting. So when Monday happens and their wedding is on Saturday, it's a quick 10-minute meeting. We just need to fill in the blanks, make them feel as confident as you are going into the day, because it really helps just being organized. I had a DJ friend of mine. He came up to me and I showed him my calendar, all my events, and he's like, "Wow, you got to be organized, huh?" I'm like, "I don't have a choice. I'm gonna fail if I'm not organized." So I have all of my weddings for every single event on folders, on sheets, backed up in different places, because you want to make sure you have all of these things in line, just so it's easier for you. And when you come into the busy season, it's already all set, prepped, and ready to go. So yes, be sure to stay organized, whatever that may look like for you guys as vendors, wedding information, different things, right? I'm making sure my music is organized.
I was just going to talk about that. That was one of the things I had thought of earlier. I forgot to put down as music organization. I think for myself, this is the time that I refresh my crates.
Yeah.
You know, because I made it a point. One of my goals, you know, and I think in episode number 1 or 2 when we were talking about goals was to play different versions of tracks that are typical for our wedding events. You know, we play a lot of classic, what I consider the classic stuff, right? I mean, you're going to play Whitney, Rihanna. And so I like to keep it fresh for my sets and for myself because now I'm starting to see a lot of referral clients, right? Where people have referred me and I'm doing weddings and I'm seeing the past couples at the weddings.
Yep.
And so I want to keep it fresh. Like I don't want to play an exact same, you know, set list or songs because they're going to be similar, right? So they might like the same types of music. And even though we might play the same tracks, I can freshen it up with different remixes or different mashups and things like that to keep it fresh. So I like to take that time during this time to refresh the crates. And
I'm the same way because for me, my biggest one is Sunday Fun Days. That's my one. It's a weekly thing every week. So if you get people who come through every week, they don't want to hear the same thing every single weekend.
Right.
But there's also a weird in between where they almost do. Digital DJ Tips did a really good little video on it on don't be too worried about playing the same songs, you know, because they do go there to party and have a good time. But it's important to still keep it fresh and give it to them new, different ways. But yeah, I find myself now I'm getting ready for Sunday Fun Day, making sure all of this sounds at least newer from last year, so then they can get a fresh new set.
Right. I like it.
Yeah.
That's a good tip. My next one I have is prioritizing your mental health.
Nice.
All right. So setting, aside time for self-care activities. So meditation, reading, if you're an outdoors person, getting out with the nature and doing stuff like that, because as you alluded to earlier, Tony, those types of things help us recharge. They help you recharge your batteries, reduce stress. Doing anything you can to bring your stress levels down so that I feel like when you have less stress in your life, your mind is more clear.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
So, and you have to have a clear mind, a clear head, and a positive outlook going into event season. And you want to be excited, I think, and to do that, you got to have energy.
Yes.
So I think prioritizing mental health and taking care of yourself in those aspects and doing the things that you need to do to get your mind right are very important.
Well, one thing that just stuck out to me right now, it's going to be total side note, but I feel like it really dials in with what we're talking about is your house. I think it's super, super important to try your best to keep your house somewhat clean, because that can add another level of stress that you're not really there prepared for. But when you come home to a clean house, I feel like you're better prepared to go just take on your challenges for the rest of the day. That just kind of stuck out. But I know life is crazy.
This
and
is
I
how
understand,
this is how you know Tony doesn't have a 5-year-old.
Yep. I'm very lucky.
Yeah, baby.
So I'm very lucky. I have the opportunity to have a pretty open schedule, but because of that, I take on a big responsibility to keep the house clean, because Sindra, my girlfriend, does she works and has a big schedule. So I'm lucky enough to be home, but I feel like I can't just be home and play video games or whatever. This house needs to be clean if I'm going to be sitting here all day. But
It's funny because as a parent, you get to a certain level of cleanliness, I guess. There's a baseline, right?
Yeah.
So, and I always feel like our house, relatively speaking, is always pretty clean.
Yeah,
and
I wouldn't doubt it.
That's a tribute to mostly my wife, because she's a kind of a clean freak like that and likes things like that. But I also understand we do have a 5-year-old. I've got 2 teenagers.
Yep.
Their bedrooms,
all boys.
Good God, they just smell like feet. They're teenage boys, right? They smell their bedrooms.
I know I was dirty when I was.
Their bedrooms smell like feet,
Yep.
And then we got the 5-year-old that's got toys out all over the
crazy.
place,
Yep.
all over the living room. And it is what it is. Now, I have a comfort level with that.
That's
I'm
fair.
okay with it.
Yes.
And it's just, it is what it is, right? I understand my house is never 24/7 going to be clean. My wife struggles with that, I think, at times, but she does a really good job, and we could probably do a better job of
Even something as simple
keeping
as your
things clean.
desk, right? Keeping your desk,
Yeah.
just in a way to where, yes, you have that other stuff going on, but when you come to your desk, you're ready to go. It's organized, and you don't have to you can lock in here.
Right. Yep.
So that's just
I like
a
it.
little side note.
Yep.
So yeah, mine just kind of plays on a little bit more of yours and taking care of your mental health, right? I love designating a day to recharge, really making sure you have a day to either spend with your girlfriend, your wife, your friends, your family, whatever, or just a day for yourself. I'm an only child, so I value alone time. I really, really do value alone time.
Loner.
I grew up alone, and so it was fine. It's not like sad or anything,
Right,
but
right.
like there's
No, you. It sounds like you're like good with it. Like you actually
yeah,
kinda, like.
I find peace in being
Right.
alone, and I don't mind that. But I understand too. I have a girlfriend and all of that. But I try to make sure we have that time so I can do whatever I want to do, whether it's play video games, go play frisbee golf. I'm starting to golf now.
Yeah,
I bought
hey.
some clubs.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
baby.
no,
You bought some clubs?
I got 4 clubs at Savers for $12.
We're up to 4.
I just need something to
Nice.
hit a ball with. You know what I mean? Because I was, after the 3rd time going with the homies, I was kind of getting embarrassed taking out of their bag.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
You're getting the itch. I can see it. We're up to 4 clubs, people.
fun.
We're gonna keep track. We're
I
gonna have
I went for one, and this dude was looking at the clubs, and he's like, "Oh, you gotta get this one. Oh, you gotta get this one. These are."
yeah.
And I was like, "All right, this guy seems to know what he's talking about."
We're
He's
gonna
like,
have weekly Zia Club Watch.
Yeah.
How many clubs we're up to?
I like it.
And I'm gonna contribute to
Okay.
your addiction now because
like it.
I'm super addicted. But so speaking on that, you know what? After a week of events, I usually take a day or two, maybe 3, sometimes maybe 4, 5, 6. How many days are in the week? 7, maybe 7 days. And I like to go golf.
Yeah, but what's
You know?
what's nice about golf is you can do 9 in like 2 hours.
That's I'll go out by myself sometimes. You know, if I don't have a buddy, because I mean most of my friends work during the week, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I'll drop off the kids in the morning. I'll go, walk 9. You're right. It takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yep.
And it's just a little recharge. It's
Yeah.
good for me to get out, get some physical activity in.
Exactly,
It's something
yeah.
I enjoy doing, and that's kind of my alone time, my me time.
Well, I like it too because it plays on one of my points is just get outside.
Yeah.
I'm a really big believer
Vitamin D.
in vitamin D.
Yeah.
There's a good study on like depression and how it helps just being outside. Right. I found another one. What was it? A University of Michigan found that a 20-minute walk in nature can help just improve your memory and overall attention span, right? That's 20 minutes, right? And it's, if you want to take a break and like watch TV, watch an episode, sure, but like realize that that episode of New Girl is an exact same amount of a walk, and you can actually really benefit from it versus just sitting there and watching a TV show, right?
Totally.
I'm a big fan of taking 5 minutes, just being totally unplugged, stepping outside, just being, I like my patio, so I'm not fully outside, but I'm out there, right? Just kind of being there for the morning and just trying to mentally prep for my day. I feel like I still do forget sometimes, but now that I've been practicing being more mindful and just trying to set 5 minutes and realize, okay, this is how my day's going to go. This is what I need to do. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. So it just helps you kind of mentally check in with your life. And even if it's just 5 minutes, you'd be surprised how long 5 minutes feels when you're just there, locked in, because I feel like we're on so much digital stuff in front of us, TV shows, content, everything's so fast. So when you sit there for 5 minutes by yourself, it actually does feel like quite a long time.
Right.
But then there's also like guided meditation too, apps, YouTube. So if you're not, I suck at it. So I've found that YouTube apps really help. That's why I have like I don't know if I have ADD or not, right? But I've found like sometimes meditation can be tricky. But if I have something guiding me, a YouTube video, an app, somebody talking me to sleep, it
There's
helps.
a lot of podcasts that I've listened to, and just like anytime I hear self-help type stuff, tons of people talk about meditation. I have never practiced it.
I
I
suck at it.
probably should. I don't know. I guess, I mean, I've just never tried it and never done it.
I found
so
it to be
I can't talk on it.
beneficial, but like I suck at it. My mental just keeps going, but it's just about the practice of it. I'm not going to say I practice it every day, but I found that Syndrome mentioned it to me, and I've tried it, and it's been helpful. But for me, I like to have a cup of coffee in the morning, so I'll now that it's getting warmer, I've done it already twice this past couple days, is just sit on the patio and have a cup. Because you're not, you're meditating, but you're not.
So I'll do that usually when it gets warmer, because I love my backyard. I got a nice view of the mountains, got the swimming pool back
you do.
there.
Yeah,
Like
nice little
it's kind, and I'll usually go out there.
Rousey on the.
I got the dog on the wall. Like I've got my watchdog, and I'll sit out there with a cup of coffee, but I'm usually scrolling. So maybe I should practice like you and just
leave
stare
your
at
phone
them.
inside.
Maybe I just need to stare at the mountains and
Just for 5 minutes.
let my brain run amok.
Yeah, it feels weird, right? You're like, but I think it's because we're so trained on these damn devices.
Totally.
But
All right.
it is what it is.
Gonna have to try it out. I like it. Good tip.
One more for mindful or
Yeah.
for mindfulness is I talk. If you are in the wedding industry, you pretty much understand that your Saturdays are shot. Your weekends are pretty busy. So I think it's super important to reach out to your families and friends, family members and friends, and let them know that you are going to be pretty busy on Saturdays and you're not going to be able to attend everything. And almost all these events happen on Saturdays. It's one of the crappy things about our industry is
We're opposite of the rest of
a lot of
the
sacrifice.
rest of the world.
Yeah, we're the opposite of the rest of the world. It's very true.
Our weekends are Monday and Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. But yeah, just letting them know. I feel like now my friends are finally getting it. This is year 8. And they're finally understanding, Tone's out on Saturdays because it's busy season, right?
Right.
But they're always hitting me up for fights, or they still ask me. I tell them, ask me, because if I might have a Saturday open.
You never know.
You never know.
It might be one of the 3 Saturdays
There's
I've
a
got
couple.
available this
There's
year.
a couple in there that and that's what's important too, is making sure you're scheduling. Like, we are going camping June 24th. I don't care what anybody says. That's a Saturday. It's booked. It's locked in. I'm going camping. I need that for me, right? So
I think that's definitely something you learn as you get deeper into the industry and you start booking more events. And this is really for you newer vendors out there that are just breaking in. You may not have this issue now, but at some point, if you're really good at what you do, you're going to have the problem, and you're going to have to learn to say no. And and you're right. You have to schedule in vacations, me time. All those things you're talking about, super important, because it's very easy, if you're not tracking it, for you to just start taking every single event that comes in, and before you know it, you've got the whole summer. You don't have any Saturdays in the months of May, June, July, and August, and then it's like
that stinks. That's not That's not cool.
And if you have a significant other, you may not for very long.
They're gonna be mad.
Yeah. Have you ever booked an event accidentally, like on a birthday or an anniversary? Yep.
Last year I was on the phone, and it was so bad. She's sitting right next to me, and I was like, "Oh, sweet! They booked 8/12," and that was her birthday. And she's like, "Are you serious?" Yeah, and it was heartbreaking. And we've had the conversation now quite a few times. But she has allowed me to have a wedding I can work on her birthday this year, so long that I don't work on my birthday, because I'm turning 30 this year. So that was the conversation. She's like, "I honestly don't care, but we have to talk about it. We talked about doing something for my birthday, and then you booked a wedding." So that's where I can totally understand that, because I set the expectation that I will be free, and literally I'm sitting right next to her and go, "Oh, I just got booked." And so,
whoops,
she was pretty mad for that. I've learned my lesson. Yeah. She's pretty great. I have a pretty great girlfriend. She's pretty patient, so I'm lucky.
It's still together.
We are still together.
All right. Props.
We met in the wedding DJ industry, so I think
she's in the industry.
I'm lucky.
So
I'm lucky to have her understand that Saturdays are busy and they are late. I'm gonna come home at 2 a.m. and she's fine with that, right? She's not gonna be like, what were you doing?
Right. Of course, she knows.
Unloading.
You know what? But and I'll say the same thing about my wife, is because she's been with me through the whole DJ journey.
Yeah.
And understands too, right? And gets it. She's worked events in the past as an assistant for me. And so, yeah, I've been lucky. I think, that's a whole other podcast episode, is talking about, significant others and that sort of thing, and being in the industry, because it can be hard.
I feel like if they don't understand it, it's very tough for people to get what we do.
Right. I mean, you're right. No weekends, like not everybody else's weekend, Yeah. It can be tough.
That's why oh dude, Third Eye Blind tickets, they went back on sale. And you should try, because I bought one and it was cool, and then we tried to buy a second one and we couldn't, and we just kept checking it, and on the third day they were resaled again. So you should check if you want to go, but it's on a Tuesday.
Incubus just announced yesterday that they're coming through, and that's one of my favorite bands. We're gonna grab those tickets.
Yeah, so but see, like that, I see a Tuesday show, locked in. I don't
Incubus
care.
is on a Friday.
Oh, there you go.
I don't have an event on that Friday, so I'm
Senses Fail is another rock band that me and my buddy like, and they're coming on a Friday, and I'd marked it. I was like, locked in. I don't care.
That's it. Schedule the time.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. My next one I've got is to practice positive thinking.
Nice.
And this is something I've been trying to really practice a lot more over the last few years. So I think, when you approach your work with a positive attitude, you're more likely to find solutions to problems and stay motivated, when things get tough. So, I just the practice of thinking positively about things, right? I don't know. For whatever reason, I grew up just around a culture, it feels like, of not of negativity, but of always being on the defensive. And that's something I've tried to really practice getting away from, and being positive and thinking positive about things. It's kind of like, so let's go back to golf. On the golf course, you can't say, don't hit it in the water, don't hit it in the water, don't hit it in the water. Because what are you going to do?
Hit it in the water.
Hit it right into the water, right?
Yep.
So if you just think, hit it fairway right, hit it fairway right, hit the fairway right, like you're going to, you're training your mind to think of the same sort of situation differently in a positive outlook instead of this negative force that's at you.
Definitely.
And I think, when it comes to our events, we have to look at it the same way. It might be easy for us to kind of say, so I do this even. I mean, I've found ways to circumvent this, but like thinking about venue spaces, right? Like, I hate working there because of the load in.
Yeah.
Right. That's immediately you're putting yourself in this negative environment, right? Mentally.
You're already upset.
You're already upset about it, So my way around is I just don't take the events at some of those places, right?
Yeah.
Like, because it puts me in this negative.
Just know it's going to add stress that you don't need.
It puts me in a negative field, and I don't want to be there. And I know if I just hold out, I can work in the spaces that I enjoy being around, or, that's a quick example I'm trying to think of, but there's not very many of those types of venues, but just I think of things like that, like trying to put yourself in a more positive sphere and mentally.
Well, like one time I can think of, so I'm loading my car up and I close the trunk or the back of it, whatever, and I shatter my back window, and it's wedding day, and so I'm like, well, that sucks, but I can't let it faze me at all because it's Jessica and Ernie's wedding day, right, or whoever,
right?
But like stuff like that, stuff happens. You're gonna get a flat tire. You're gonna bust your window.
You're gonna wake up in the morning with a nasty sore throat.
Yeah,
and that happened. That was one of the worst mornings ever because it immediately put me in this whole just negative when I knew I had to figure out a way to get through it. Right.
Yeah, that's tough. But yeah, just making sure you can just kind of phrase it in your brain to where you have a positive outlook on it. And yeah, just kind of my topic or my little bit on that was really changing your perspective on it and really trying to understand how you can look at the good in the bad, right? I always think a great thing is to practice being grateful of where you're at. I love the line that says, 5 years ago, you're exactly where you wanted to be, or like 5 year, I don't know, how's it phrased? You are where you wanted to be 5 years ago, or 5 years, you wish you could be, something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of tough. You wish you could be where you're at 5 years from now, or something like that. And so I think it's important to understand that you have really achieved a lot in what you've done, whatever that may look like. And so to understand that, yes, you may have not reached all your goals for the day, or you're not fully to where you want to be, but you've achieved a lot so far, and really understanding that perspective and being grateful for what you have already. Like there's DJs who don't even have a gig, and I'm pissed that I have to work at Sandia because the security's a hard time, right? Or whatever, right?
Right.
And that's a good problem to have. Like it's good to be grateful that you have little things. We were talking about bills the other day, and I was like, we got a roof. We're pretty, we're crying, or not, we weren't crying, right? But we were having a conversation about bills and how inconvenient they are and whatever. Like, we got to cut back a little bit, right? Whatever. Yeah, but I get to play video games and watch Netflix, and I got the internet. Like, yeah, I'm a little broke, but I also have all of this.
Perspective, right?
Perspective.
Like tax days coming up.
Yeah.
So most people would be pretty, if they find out that they have to pay a lot more in taxes than they've ever paid in their life, would be probably pretty upset.
Yep.
But I look at it as that means I've made the most money I've ever made in my life, right? Like
Yeah.
I've had the best year ever, and
Right.
so it kind of goes back to something I was thinking about a little while ago, which is you can only control what you can control,
Yeah.
right? And it's if you look at things that way, then you don't worry so much about things that are out of your control.
Yeah, it's true, honestly.
And it once again gets back to alleviating stress and things like that. There's certain things in life that you just have no control over, but control the things that you can. And I think having a positive outlook on situations and being able to flip the switch mentally is something you can't control.
Yeah. And one thing I've seen too is like, say you're doing that meditation stuff, having a cup of coffee, write a list of different things you were grateful for. You were doing that for a little while.
Gratitude. So
Yeah.
that's something from my real estate world that we practice daily gratitudes and affirmations.
Exactly.
Affirmations, telling yourself something over and over and over, like a goal. It's something that you want to reach, right?
Yep.
And then daily gratitudes. Yeah, I try to practice that. I haven't been posting it online, but I do
good.
it every single morning, just like mentally. But I think it's better if you post it or write it down.
Write it down.
You know,
Yeah, it kind
something that you're
of
grateful
holds
for.
you, a little bit more accountable versus just like sitting there. But if
And it puts you in the positive sphere.
Yes,
mentally.
exactly.
And I like doing it first thing in the morning because of that. Like if I start my day mentally in the positive, with in the positive realm, it totally helps. It just gets you off on the right foot.
It really does, because there's just a lot of crazy things going on in this world, and if you're able to look at it to where, like, yes, there are a lot of things that are going on, but like for me, there's just a little bit of peace in finding like I have this, I have that, right, or those things that you already do have, and being grateful versus I don't know, being upset that you have to deal with the same problem.
So since we're talking about gratitudes, that'll lead me into like my final thing that I had here, which is basically don't forget to celebrate your wins.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this is, right? So take the time to recognize your accomplishments, acknowledge the hard work you've put in, celebrate your successes, and by doing that, it helps you stay motivated. It reminds you of why you love the work, why we love what we're doing, right? So I know we like to post, some of our accomplishments. And for us, accomplishments are like our weddings.
The recaps,
The recaps, and talking about it. That's why we want to bring that to the podcast and talk about the, some of the things, the cool things that are happening and that we're doing and trends that we're seeing. Like, take the time to celebrate your wins, peeps.
Yep. Take that time, because you have been kicking ass. Don't forget it.
Yep.
Oh, trying to give you all a round of applause.
All right. And you have any other ones?
Well, I did right here, just a little tip. You can like set small goals to overall reach towards your big goals, right? But I think it's nice to help you celebrate the wins when you achieve those small goals. Clean your desk, organize your folders, right? Do little things. Do 5 goals that you want to do for the day, and then you achieve those 5 goals, cross them off, and then at the end of the day, you're like, all right, I did something today, and you just feel better. Like you can physically see that you accomplished something versus just doing it and being like, okay, I still have to do that, right? Because you'll do things and then you'll think about the next thing versus like you have your list for the 5, and then I feel like mentally I'll always be like, oh, okay, I still need to do this, but once I've cleared my 5, I can feel good about the day and not stress of, I still need to get this done, because yes, I still need to get it done, but I can put it on tomorrow's list and be at peace with myself at 6:00 and have dinner with my girlfriend and be really locked in with her and not somewhere else mentally.
I like it. Good stuff. All right, peeps, there you have it. Some practical ways to prepare and improve your mindset as we head into the busy season. I hope that you got some takeaways there, and that some of these tips will help you stay focused and energized so you can deliver your best work and, create those unforgettable memories for your clients. So, All right, so we are now going to head into one of our favorite segments.
Best segment out there. You know it. Grab Bag Tunes.
Grab Bag. Yeah, it's time for the Grab Bag, where we go and scour the internets, mostly TikTok these days. Yeah. And that's what we're going to do today.
Good sound bites versus us reading them to you,
Yeah, and it's fun to search through TikTok and the wedding industry, just socials that are happening out there and talk about it. So the first one is a TikTok, and I think this is a past bride. So let's
hear
see what she's got.
You're not going to find the best wedding vendors on the knot, but I'm about to tell you where you will find them. Hi, I'm Kate. I'm getting married later this year, and I've made a lot of mistakes while wedding planning. So if you want to follow along, I share them all so that you can learn from them. I scoured the knot for hours, but vendors actually pay to be higher in search results, and a lot of the vendors that I ended up with don't even have a profile on there, or they don't have pictures. So I found the best way to actually find vendors is through Instagram. On Instagram, you're going to want to search things such as hashtag your state wedding planner or hashtag your city wedding photographer. For venues in my state of Minnesota, I search hashtag MN wedding venue. And yeah, it's all barns. I mean, we're in Minnesota. New and upcoming venues or vendors will also use these hashtags so you can know about things before they're even things. Happy searching. You're not.
All right. So
When was that posted?
that was last year. Looks like January of 2022.
Okay, cool.
So yeah. So interesting. Not looking at the knot, or I mean, you could throw Wedding Wire in there. I guess that's they're basically the same company now. For vendors, and she mentioned, and she's right. You can pay to be higher up on the list. I used to subscribe to Wedding Wire. I don't think I've ever done the knot, but we used to do Wedding Wire years ago, and then I found I was getting no events,
No leads.
were coming from that directly. And I just stopped because it's a grip load of money that they suck you in for like the first year, and then when you're up for renewal, that's when they like hit you. It's like
with the big old bill.
double, triple the cost. And
it's
just
crazy. I feel like a lot of places like the Knot and Wedding Wire, they require you to like have an account and like give a bunch of information and do all this. And for Instagram, you're already there.
Right.
You're already familiar with the platform. You know how to search for something. So if she gives you that tip, that's a great tip for TikTok too.
I can tell you. So we still have a profile on, Wedding Wire and the Knot, and you're going to see like their SEO is so good, right? Like I could go into a whole episode long of how that happened and how every single time you search for something, those are the first two results that come up. But I've booked way more events off of Instagram and TikTok in just the last 2 years than
we really have.
I did in all previous years from Wedding Wire and the Knot.
Yeah, I always get really excited when how'd you hear about us and they say social media, Instagram, because that's how you know it's working. We're putting out the right content that people want to see. But what I think is super cool with that, what she's saying about the hashtags, is us as vendors, you need to look up your hashtag and see what tips people are giving their couples. I found it great for my sales meetings because you type in wedding DJ questions, and then they're literally giving you all the questions that the brides are going to ask me at my wedding so I can prep and give them get all the right answers, right? The nice thing is when I see those TikToks nowadays, I'm like, oh, I already answer all those questions. So that's cool. But it's nice for you to know what questions are you going to be asked from these future brides. And a lot of them are looking for tips on socials like TikTok and Instagram. So it's a good one for it's a good thing to think about is look up your hashtag in your field and see what's being posted about. Another cool thing that I think we should start doing, I saw, was you look up like the top 50 TikToks, the most viral TikToks of this week, and comment on them.
Yeah.
Just literally green screen it, play the video, and then you go right after them and just stitch it, stitch the TikTok and make your comment. Give your 2 cents on it because it'll do really well, they're saying. We haven't done it too much.
All right. There we go.
Yeah.
Action item for us. Okay. I'm going to play another one here. This one is actually DJ related, and this comes from DJ Nick Spinelli, who is part of the group, the SCE event group out in New Jersey. And this is an interesting take, and then we're going to discuss it.
Let's talk about playing whole songs. Don't. When wedding DJs started becoming a thing, people got into DJing weddings, not to DJ, to MC, to be an entertainer. That's why you got into weddings. You didn't get into weddings to be a DJ. That was just a side effect. Like, you had to know how to, basically use DJ equipment. You had to know how to fade from one song to another. You had to know how to pick the songs and all that. Like, that was part of it. Like, that was a side effect. But the real reason why you got into DJing, the real art of it back in the day, was your MC skills, how you entertained, how you taught dances, interacted with the crowd. That was the real skill back in the day. So I get why DJs don't mix. I get why there's still leftover of these DJs that don't mix at all, that just like fade to the next song, play entire whole songs, and that's it. But I'm here to tell you that it's never too late to learn, and you're not going to last long if you don't learn. You're just not. People are more dialed in now. They realize that like mixing is a thing. They don't want to hear entire songs. We have a whole generation of people that scroll on TikTok and Instagram all day. Every 3 seconds, they get a new piece of content. You think they want to sit through an entire 4-minute song at a wedding while dancing? You think they're going to sit through that? You think they're going to just keep dancing through that? If you have a good crowd, they'll dance up front, but eventually it's going to taper off. And if you're watching this and you play whole songs and you don't mix at all, this is familiar to you, right? How many weddings have you had where it was pretty good up front, but then it kind of tapered off, right? It's very few and far between where you have a wedding that's like bumping until the very end. And that's because you're playing whole songs and you're boring the shit out of people. Let's talk about playing whole songs.
Amen.
All right. So I'm interested, those of you that are listening out there, put in the comments, your thoughts on that.
I'd love to hear your
playing
thoughts.
whole songs.
I really do.
So I started reading the comments off this TikTok, right? And it's all over the board, and it's really interesting. There was actually somebody in here, it must have been a DJ it said from New Mexico. I don't know who it is, and I'm not going to give the handle here. But basically, he says it's a wedding, not a nightclub. People want to hear the song, not have it changed as they get into it. And then later on, the same person commented that would never go over in New Mexico. They want to hear full songs. And then I wanted to go in and comment, but I didn't. Like, not true,
Yeah, it's not.
And for me, in all honesty, I feel like it depends. It depends on
Depends on the song a lot too.
There's so many dynamics, the song, but it depends on your couple.
Yep.
It depends on what kind of song. So like, and I'll give you an example. If I'm playing like a 90s, 2000s hip hop set, I don't feel like at my events, I mean, I could get away with playing Nelly Hot in Here for all 5 minutes of the song. And then I could go into a DMX and play all 5 minutes of Party Up. But I feel like that's such a waste of time when I can play a verse and a chorus and then go right into DMX. And I'm going to show you in a little bit when we get into our into back to the music. Actually, a set that I do, because I've got 2 tracks that go really well together with what we're going to talk about and what I do with that. And it just, I feel like it's wasted time when when you're playing hip hop, they want that club type vibe and feeling most of the time. And so it's great to be able to quick mix and have that tool set. But if I'm playing a country song, especially here in New Mexico, they actually want to dance. They want a 2-step, and they will 2-step for 3.5, 4 minutes long. They want to. A salsa song.
Yeah, or ranchera.
A ranchera. If you do not play those songs and you're trying to quick mix in and out, you are going to get roasted.
They're going to be pretty mad. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so I think I think a great DJ is going to know when to quick mix, when not to, and I think having the skill set of quick mixing can absolutely heighten an event and different points of the event.
Definitely.
To be able to get into that club vibe.
Yeah, it's wild because 2 weeks ago, my first wedding at Bishop's, I got critiqued for not playing the song too long. And I get it, right? But like also too, it was a hip hop song. I guess they wanted to hear another verse, but it kind of is what it is, because they came up to me and they were like, "Can you play the full song?" And I was like, honestly, no. I already played it. Give me another song, right? Like I tell them a good DJ doesn't play the same song twice, and oftentimes they're like, "Okay, I can understand that," right? But sometimes they'll just bug you and tell you to keep playing it, and you're like, "No, I can't play it," right? You just want to get off of.
And you're talking about like a guest that was there. Yeah,
a guest came up to me and was telling me to just play the same song or play the full version of it, and it wasn't going to happen. So
yeah,
and I don't know. I think there's certain times, like for Sunday Funday, the first hour, the songs are going to be a little longer than, like, I don't know, the third or fourth hour, because
the vibe is different though.
Yeah, people are trickling in. People are starting to kind of just get there gradually and feel the vibe. But like you want to walk into a party, but no one's for that first hour. People are just starting to get there and get warmed up, so they're not really paying attention. They need the music to be nice and cohesive and a nice mix to get the vibe right. It's a warm up, but
but I feel like when you walk into any place,
hour.
typically like a bar or a restaurant, you're sitting down, you're having conversation. It's more about you're grabbing a drink.
Yeah.
You're just getting,
And that's the setting for the first hour.
right.
for
It's
sure.
more conversational. Whereas like as you get in deeper into it, and now you start ramping up the music, you've had a few drinks, and you now you want to get up and
there's like
and
a dance floor. People start making their way to the dance floor, and that's where the quick mixes start playing. But yeah, I think there's definitely a time and place for both.
Yep. So so those are our actually, and we've got
got one more.
we
right?
got one more grab bag for you all.
Okay, I found this one. It was pretty cool. I think it's kind of exciting. Let's see. Oh, gotta love it. All right, well, I still have it, so no worries. We'll just pull it up here. And here we go.
Getting married at the place you've dreamed of since you were a kid. Well, love is in the air, and it smells like pizza.
Yep.
Introducing Chuck E. Cheese wedding packages. For the couples who don't want conventional, they want unforgettable.
Yep.
Get
Wow.
all the little touches that could only come from Chuck E. Cheese.
Wow.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Our interactive dance floor, an in-house DJ,
We're gonna play this
and a
video for you on the
reception that
YouTubes,
just
people.
doesn't stop.
Playing, yeah, we got
As one
you.
of the most sought-after party destinations in the country, trust us to celebrate your special day in a special way. Chuck E. Cheese Weddings, where a mouse can make you a spouse.
Your mouse can make you a spouse. Where a mouse can make you a spouse. Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Chuck E. Cheese weddings. Wow. Did you guys know that Chuck E. Cheese was now offering
Yeah.
a wedding package?
They have, you can do the ceremony, you got all the games, they sell beer, and they might have wine, but they have drinks, right?
I mean, think about it. You've got a built-in band.
Yep.
Like the Chuck E. Cheese band might be one of the top 5 bands of all time.
They're up there. I've seen them perform quite a few times.
They
and
play everything.
play the hits.
A little scary looking, but well, you can get past
Get
that.
it done, right?
The chef's looking at you kind of weird in the band. It's
But you also got the in-house DJ in one of the animatronics, so that's pretty cool too, right?
super cool.
You just have to show up with the playlist, so that could be all right.
Man, Chuck E. Cheese pizza.
They start
your wedding?
booking. It begins April 31st.
April 31st. Gosh, I mean, people.
Start booking now, Chuck E. Cheese.
I've been waiting for this day.
Same.
Since I was at least 3.5.
I think it's time for you to renew your vows at
think-
Chuck E. Cheese.
I'm just kind of upset that they've already got a DJ and that we won't be able to come in and play there.
It'd be nice that we could get that contract in.
Gosh, we're gonna have to work on that. There's something. What does that say on the bottom?
Let's see.
of
Bookings
that?
began. Rudy from Legal would like you to know everything on this page is a joke and should not be taken seriously. Oh, well, dang it. I have to say I was excited for those Chuck E. Cheese weddings.
Yeah, I mean Chuck E. Cheese. What a great spot.
That's a good idea. No, honestly, good marketing idea.
Yeah,
Really good.
we're gonna put that one up on the YouTubes for you
Check
guys.
it out. It's nuts. The video's hilarious.
That was an April Fool's joke. That was
It's April 4th today, but we couldn't do our pot on the first.
brilliant. I love the page. Chuck E. Cheese
It's
wedding.
an actual website.
There's a complete website with
You got
this.
the mouse sitting on the top of the 3-tiered pizza.
What did it say? The mouse for your spouse?
Yeah, where a mouse can make you a spouse. That's funny.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, good stuff. All right, we got to move on.
Let's get out of it. Let's take it back.
It's time, people.
It's our favorite time of the pod.
Our favorite time of the podcast. We are going back to the music. Great Scott.
Yes, sir. Just looking at these numbers.
Nice.
Suavemente 4,000. That makes sense.
That's in New Mexican weddings. That one's played probably.
I would say I play it at every single event.
Yeah, it's a good.
That one in
go-to for me,
Danza.
too. Just people love to like I said.
they love that
rancheras,
little
merengues.
salsa feel. Yeah, salsa feel.
Yeah.
But
So,
cool.
I dig it. All right. Well, I think we can put a bow on this one. It's been good.
Yep.
And good episode. It
Yep.
was fun.
Super excited because
Hope you
now
guys got some takeaways from this one.
Yep, I liked it a lot. It was good. But yeah, we have our first. This is going to be my second wedding. But now it's wedding season, baby. So
It's time to get going into wedding season.
Uh-huh.
So thank you once again. We'll see you guys next week.
see y'all next week. Appreciate you all. Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for checking out the Cutmaster Cast podcast. Make sure you stay tuned with all things related at www.cutmastermusic.com.